Financial Literacy is an educational program which airs on Waves 1170 every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Hosted by Hubert McIntosh, a CPA and member of SOFA, the Society for Financial Awareness, with the number one goal: assist individuals to take charge of their personal finances. Please join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. on 1170 a.m. or via your smartphone app, Waves 1170, or on the internet at waves1170.com. Waves 1170. 1170 a.m. It's Sunday night in the Caribbean, man. Hubert McIntosh is a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, and he's the man. Financial literacy provided by Hubert McIntosh, CPA. Financial literacy. Control your financial status. Here's your host, Hubert McIntosh, CPA.
Good evening, good Sunday evening to you. It's a chilly Sunday evening in South Florida. Welcome to Financial Literacy. This is the initial program being rebroadcast. We started last week, but because of popular demand, we are rebroadcasting the initial program. Some people didn't get on, and those who got on requested that we do it again so that they can be more prepared. So, as I said, tonight we're going to talk about financial literacy. So please take time, get your pen, get your paper, because we're going to share some things with you that it may be necessary for you to take notes, either for yourself or for a family member. This program is Financial Literacy, and again, I'm Hubert McIntosh, your CPA, a member of SOFA, the Society for Financial Awareness. SOFA has one vision, and that vision is to eradicate financial illiteracy in America, one community at a time. I have joined with SOFA to help deliver that message one community at a time, and starting with this community. So thank you for joining us. We're going to get into it. So the purpose of the show, as I said, is to help eliminate financial illiteracy. And so we have created a website for you to follow us, where you can make notes, you can make comments to us. The website is financialliteracy.info. That's financialliteracy.info. We have also created an email address. You can send us your questions, your comments, your feedback at support@financialliteracy.info. That's support@financialliteracy.info. We have also set up a phone number for that, where you'll be able to call, leave a message, text us, or whatever works best for you. And that's 754-366-7311. 754-366-7311. So those are the ways. So even though we are on Sunday nights 9 to 10, you have 24/7 access to us. Via the web, you can go on an email, you can make comments there, you can send us email with your questions, and we value your feedback. So please don't hesitate to do that. So, as we said, we're talking about financial literacy. Let's break down what financial literacy is. You know, there are many definitions out there, and we'll share some of them with you. Wikipedia says financial literacy is the ability to understand how money works in the world, how someone manages to earn or make it, how that person manages it, how she invests it, turn it into more, and how that person donates it to help others. And that's from Wikipedia. Cambridge says financial literacy is the ability to understand basic principles of business and finance. Investopedia has a different take on it, somewhat similar but somewhat different also: the possession of knowledge and understanding of financial matters. Financial literacy is the education and understanding of various financial areas. This topic focuses on the ability to manage personal finance matters in an efficient manner, and it includes the knowledge of making appropriate decisions about personal finance, such as investing, insurance, real estate, paying for college, budgeting, retirement, and tax planning. Furthermore, FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulation Authority, states that 63% of Americans are financially illiterate. Wow, that's an alarming statistics. So our hope in bringing this program to you is that we can help to decrease that percentage, in terms of decreasing the illiteracy out there in finance. So that's why we're here. But as in everything, you may have general definitions. You may have general definitions about finance, but at the end of the day, it comes down to a personal economic model. And what does that mean? It means for each individual, they will have to identify or customize a model for themselves, because it's not a one size fits all. What may work for one person may not work for the next person, because one person income may be $1,000 a week, another person may be $500, another person may be $200. So basically, each person will have to develop their own personal economic model, and that's what we are hoping to bring to you, to help you to customize your own personal economic model. A story was shared with me the other day about life. It says life is like a journey on a train, with its stations, with changes of routes, and with accidents. We board this train when we are born, and our parents are the ones who get our ticket. We believe they will always travel on this train with us. However, at some station, our parents will get off the train, leaving us alone on this journey. So here it is. Your parents bring you on this train, buys your ticket, and you believe because nobody told you that they were gonna get off the train. So they get off that train, and then now you are left to fend and to manage this journey. So along that train ride, there are going to be people coming on, there are going to be people coming off, and that train ride, the train ride will be determined by the relationships that you forge, the relationships you make. How do you get along with people, individuals? Some people are gonna come on that train and they're gonna be there just for a couple of stops. Others are gonna be there longer, and then it's gonna be that time when you get off that train. And that is where the challenge is. And that's what we're hoping that this program is going to bring to you. Because if we each knew when we were going to get off the train, life would be much more simple. life would be much more simple. But because we don't know when our stop is going to come up, we have to make preparations. And part of that preparation is being financial literate. And that is what we are hoping to bring to you. Basically, with a personal economic model, let's dive down in this a bit. A personal economic model, each individual has something what famously known in the finance industry as lifetime capital potential. Yeah, it sounds eloquent, those words. But what that simply means, lifetime capital potential, is what each individual in their lifetime has the potential to earn. And so basically, some people amount is going to be larger, some is going to be smaller, but it boils down that we each have to manage. We each have to manage our inflow, because our lifetime capital potential starts with earned income. And as we earn income, whatever the number is, put the number. You think of your number, use your number. One person, as I said, maybe 500, another person maybe 1,000, another person maybe 1,500. So you look at your earned income, and as we are in the United States, one of the filter, as we get monthly cash flow from earned income, one of the filter, or the first filter we'll have to go through, is the tax filter. Yes, the tax filter. It's one of those things we're not gonna get away from that. There are two things that are certain in this life that we're gonna do, is debt and taxes. You have heard that from you were a kid, and you grew up hearing it still. Because in taxes, in taxes, you're dealing with so many different taxes. You're dealing with income tax. You're dealing with sales tax, property tax, whatever, city tax, state tax. So take, for instance, here in Florida, there's no state tax. But if we go to a state like New York, that in New York now you have federal tax, you have state of New York tax. If you live in New York City, you have New York City tax. If you live in the city Yonkers, then you also have Yonkers tax. And then you have sales tax. So as you can see, we're dealing with a lot of taxes. So it's very imperative that we learn how to manage taxes. So that's the first tax filter we go through. Tax filter. Government takes theirs, whether it's a federal government, whether it's a state government, whether it's a local government. And after you go through that tax filter, then what's left now is the money that you have for your lifestyle. And lifestyle works a couple of ways. You have current lifestyle and you have future lifestyle. So you have individuals will choose to manage both. Some don't think of the other. You have you basically have three types of people. You have three types of people in general. You're gonna have exceptions to this though. But in general, there are three types of people. You're gonna have that person who is a spender. That's the person who, whatever is left after gone through the tax filter, then that person is just going to spend until they get their next paycheck. So that is where that saying comes when you hear it says someone will be living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of times it's because that person is a spender. And other times also it may be based on the amount of income that person has. But irrespective of the amount of income, I think it's incumbent on each of us to try and save some. Because, emergencies happen. Life happens. It doesn't just go where we start a week or where we start a month and it's just gonna go exactly like we think it should. So you hear that saying, you gotta save for the rainy day. Rainy day will come. So, so a lot of time that spender is not thinking of that rainy day. The next type of person now is the saver. Well, there are pluses and minuses to this also, because what the saver does, the saver will earn a certain amount and they will save a certain amount, which all entails it's good because they're saving something. But sometimes it's very important, how do you save it? Because if you're gonna maximize your lifetime capital potential, it's very critical how you save it, how do you invest it. One of the examples with a saver will be buying an item, whether it's a piece of furniture or something, and that person will save that money until they have accumulated the purchase because of the fear. Sometimes it's that fear of using credit. And this is one of the things with financial literacy that we're going to hope to educate you on. Credit in of itself is not a bad thing. I know sometimes you hear it that credit is bad, credit is this, but there's no absolute there. It is very important that you get some kind of education how to manage that, because credit in itself can be beneficial and credit in itself can be bad. So that is what we're hoping to bring to you. The third person we're going to mention before we go on break is that wealth creator. That wealth creator is that person who looks at their situation, they looks at their income and they says, okay, this is my potential. This is my lifetime potential. So how do I maximize my return on investment? If I'm earning a certain amount of money, how do I make this grow? And sometimes if that person is not literate on finance, then it's very important that they get someone who can assist them. There are many resources out there, and we're hoping to bring one of it to you. We're on Sunday nights. We're here every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. So we're bringing it into you. We're bringing it into your home. We're bringing it into your computer. We're bringing it onto your radio. If you want, you go on the website, financialliteracy.info. You can send us an email, support@financialliteracy.info. You can call us 754-366-7311. You can text us, and we're here for you. We're going to respond to you, and we also value your feedback. So we would appreciate you go on, make comments, share with us your feedback, share with us what you'd like us to talk about, because there are so many topics in the financial arena. Since we're here to serve you, we want to bring things that matters to you, not necessarily things that matters to us. As I says, the goal is to help eradicate financial illiteracy. And the best way to do that is to know what you are illiterate about. One person may be illiterate about something different. One person may be college funding. Another person may be mortgage. Another, it may be credit cards. And these are the things that we're hoping to bring to you so that you will have you will have your own personal education. On Sunday night, you can prepare yourself that you're going to come to Sunday school, Sunday financial school, and we're bringing it to you every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. This is your Sunday school. You may have Sunday school in the morning, but we're bringing you Sunday school in the evening, financial literacy. So that is what. So make notes, take your notes, jot down your notes, jot down your questions. Go on the website, financialliteracy.info. Send us an email, support@financialliteracy.info, because we want to serve you. So we would appreciate getting your feedback. So we just thank you. We just thank you for joining us, and with that, just hold that dial. Don't go. We're just going to step away for a short commercial break. We got to pay the bills. So we're going to step away for just a minute or two. So just stick and stay, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking and staying. We're going to continue with the program Financial Literacy. As we left before the break, we were talking about developing your personal economic model. And where we had reached, we started speaking about the lifestyle. After you earn income and that income goes through the tax filter, then what's left is your lifestyle income. And that lifestyle income can be broken up in two ways. You have current lifestyle and you have future lifestyle. We gave you some reference to the spender, the saver, the wealth creator, identifying how some people deal with their situation. But we're going to focus on helping you to be a wealth creator. And I know sometimes that can be a challenging phrase to say wealth creator, where one individual may say, well, but I'm not wealthy. That is for someone who is wealthy. But I'm here to tell you that we are all wealthy. We're wealthy with the resources that you have. So our goal is to educate you on your resources, not someone else's resources. So if we help you develop a personal economic model, then yours can be developed, and not necessarily looking at your neighbor, what your neighbor is doing. We want to help you develop your personal economic model. So as you have that money, that's your lifestyle money, and you're going to divvy that into current and future lifestyle, there's some education that you're going to need, because you have an option. You have an option where you can choose to be a spender. That's a choice. You can choose to be a saver. You can choose to be a wealth creator. And that's what we're going to focus on. So in creating wealth for yourself, you have to identify how are you going to manage your current lifestyle versus your future lifestyle. And if one chooses to invest, say save your money or invest your money, there are a couple of key components in saving or investing money. Basically, in the sense that you have a risky way and you have a safe way. In a lot of times, that risky way will generate a higher return, but in the same token of generating a higher return, there's also a potential for a greater loss. So we are here to educate you on that, because we have a philosophy. We believe that there is more to gain with the stoppage than going for the home run. And let me break that down. It's like when we grew up in Jamaica, most of us are familiar with where you go and you go to a place called standpipe and you go and you collect water, and your grandma, if you go up and you're visiting grandma, you'll take that bucket. You take that bucket and you go to catch water, and you're coming back and you're putting that bucket on top of your head and you're going back down to grandma because grandma is waiting on you. Grandma is waiting because she probably has a pot that she's ready to cook and she's waiting for you to bring that water back. But you get home to grandma and then you take that bucket is empty. And you're like, grandma is like, but wait, you were to get water. So you went, you filled that bucket, but what you did not find out, you did not know there was a hole in that bucket. And that water, you are going back to grandma, that bucket was just leaking. When you get back, the bucket is empty. It's the same with finance, because you may be investing in something or you're saving somewhere and you're thinking, well, I'm saving, so I should be good. But not necessarily, because we have some things we have to deal with. We have inflation, we have market risk, we have market loss. These things are factors that we have to deal with. Sometimes we don't have any control because sometimes it's world economics. So you have individual economics, you have national economics, sometimes it's world economics. So if you are not versed or literate in these topics, then what will happen is that you know the saying, you have the ladder on the wall and you're thinking you're going up this ladder, but the ladder is placed on the wrong wall. So what we're hoping is that we're gonna be able to guide you and show you the different walls, what are the pros, what are the cons, and so forth. So that's what we're gonna go into. So we're gonna also introduce you the four most important questions, financial questions, the four most important financial questions. And some of you may know it, some of you may not, but our goal is to help educate you on it. So and we'll go through it. Number one is, what rate of return do you have to earn on your savings and investment dollars to be able to retire at your current standard of living and have your money last through your life expectancy? I mentioned that phrase, and don't ignore that phrase, life expectancy. We shared with you earlier about that train. You're on that train, but you don't know when is your stop. You don't know when is your stop. Life expectancy is one of those moving targets. Right now, the actuarial table says that the average woman will live to 89.6 years, men will live to 86.8, and that's just an actuarial average. It doesn't mean that's what yours gonna be. Yours could be shorter, yours could be longer. So that's why it's imperative and important that you develop a personal economic model so that you're gonna be able to sustain your lifestyle through your life expectancy. And if we knew when we were gonna get off that train, that would be the easy part. But because we don't know that part, hence the necessity of financial literacy. And that's what we're bringing to you. So we have created a website, financialliteracy.info. Check us out on the web. We have an email address, support@financialliteracy.info. Support@financialliteracy.info. Send us your questions, send us your comments. Go on, check us out on the web. You can call us 754-366-7311, 754-366-7311. Text us, call us, leave a message. You have access to us 24/7. So that was number one, rate of return. I took a long time in explaining it because it is so critical, because a lot of times if we just focus on rate of return, then we can be blindsided. We can be blindsided because if that rate of return is high, like that bucket we're saying, and that water keep going into that bucket, but if that bucket has a leak and you keep putting in water, you're putting in water, and that thing is leaking. So that's what we are gonna educate you on. Number two, how much do you need to save on a monthly or annual basis to be able to retire at your current standard of living and your money lasts till life expectancy? See, we back again at life expectancy because the number one factor, the number one challenge we have to deal with in developing this personal economic model is that life expectancy, because that is such an unknown. Then it becomes like you're doing that algebra formula, but you have to solve for X. And this is the case. So here it is. You did algebra in probably grade 2, grade 3, thinking that you'll never have to use it again. But as life develops, here comes algebra again, because you have X. You got to solve for X. You have Y. You know what your income is. You know what your lifetime potential, income potential is. But because of that X, that unknown factor, you're not knowing when you're gonna get off that train. That's why it is so important for you to be educated on this. Part of that where it says how much do you need to save on a monthly or annual basis to be able to retire. Let's talk about retire also. Once upon a time in America, it was customary that 65 years, it was a moving target. 60 was a retirement age. 65 became a retirement age. Now it's 70 for some folks. But the truth of the matter is, retirement age is different for each individual. So you cannot just say you're gonna retire at such an age. You say you're gonna retire at 65 or 70, but you didn't make any preparation. You didn't make any plan, and you're just hoping to retire at 65 or 70. That cannot work, because I'm telling, hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. That strategy has to make sense, So just say you're wishing and you're hoping to retire at 65 or 70. It doesn't work like that. So that's number two. Number three, doing what you're currently doing, how long will you have to work? We touched briefly on it, whereas it's not where you just pick a number from the sky and says, I'm gonna work until 62, 65, or 70. You cannot do that, because that unknown, we're coming back to that X. There is a statistic out there that you can check. They said by 2050, by the year 2050, that's 33 years from now, by 2050, there are going to be 4 million centenarians in America. Yes, 4 million centenarians. That's 4 million people who are going to be more than 100 years old. That's the statistics that's out there. Here's the sad part. So we could say, well, wow, medical science is so great that people are living longer. But there's a sad part to that. That same statistics says that 99% of those people are going to be broke. Reflect on that for a minute. 4 million people over 100 years old and 99% broke. Wow. I wonder if that 99% is that 63% that FINRA says is financial illiterate. What we're hoping is that you, yes, you, I'm looking at you. It doesn't have to be you because we're here to educate you. You don't have to be a part of that statistic. You can be a part of that 1%. You don't have to be a part of that 99%. So that is what has encouraged us where we're bringing this to you so that you can be literate in this manner where you don't have to be a part of that negative statistic. Number 4 question on that is, if you don't do anything at all, how much will you have to reduce your standard of living? Wow. Reflect on that for a minute. If you don't do anything, how much will you have to reduce your standard of living? So I want you to reflect on that. I'm getting the signal that we're gonna go to a short commercial break. So stick and stay. Don't touch that dial. Stay with us. We're gonna be right back. Okay? Welcome back. Thank you for sticking and staying for Financial Literacy Sunday night, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Every Sunday night, we're coming to you with financial literacy. So we are bringing Sunday school to you in personal finance, financial literacy. We have created a website for you to share insights with you. It's financialliteracy.info. financialliteracy.info. We have an email. You can email us, support@financialliteracy.info. support@financialliteracy.info. You can call us. You can text us, 754-366-7311. 754-366-7311. Well, on the other side, we left you talking about what if you don't do anything regarding your future. Wow. Well, for you, that will not be your problem because we are here to educate you. We're here to educate you where you do something. There was this saying, it's still there, back in Jamaica, no matter what you think you have, you can start where you are. One cocoa full basket. No, you have heard that. One cocoa full basket. For you to get a basket to be full, you have to start somewhere. So we're going to start with one at a time. You don't have to necessarily wait to be able to half full the basket. You can start with one at a time. One cocoa full basket. And if we have that and we don't, we stop the hole in the bucket from leaking. So those are some of the formulas necessary for us to create this financial lifestyle where we can live somewhat comfortable knowing that you have made some plans. We want to also introduce you some wealth transfers. There are, remember I defined it earlier. Wealth transfers. Wealth is not necessarily, I know some may be thinking that wealth is just for the rich person. You are rich. Wealth is your wealth, your individual wealth. We're talking to you about, what is it that you're doing with your access, with your wealth, with your finance. So that's why we're making it personal to you, not necessarily to the next person. It's not a one size fits all. It's customizable, or it can be customizable to you. So I want to introduce you to some of the wealth transfers that's out there. There are 5 major wealth transfers, or 5 areas of major wealth transfers we have identified. The number one is mortgages. Yes, mortgages. Sometimes it is necessary to get proper education and financing mortgage. There are so many moving targets with mortgages, in sense of, what do you get? Do you get a 15-year? Do you get a 20-year? Do you get 25? Do you get 30 years? Well, I wish I could say 40, but there's no 40 years anymore. But once upon a time, there was 40 years. But, 15, 20, 25, 30, based on your situation. And here it is again. It's not a one size fits all. That's why it's very imperative that you get some education there, whereas, so that the best thing or the right thing for you. Number 2 is taxes. Yes, we spoke about taxes earlier, that there are 2 certainties in life, and they were debt and taxes. Taxes is one of those. Taxes is one of your major impediment to creating wealth, because you cannot get away from it, but you have the opportunity to manage it. So just because you can't eliminate it, we're not going to necessarily focus on eliminating, because if you try to eliminate it, then that's tax evasion, and that's illegal. We're not talking to you about tax evasion. Oh no, we could never do that. But we want to help you and show you how you can manage your taxes. You don't have to eliminate it, but managing it. The Supreme Court, Justice Lerner in 1932, says that it's the right of every United States citizen and resident to minimize their tax liability according to the law. If the Supreme Court is saying that, why is it that so many people are paying excess taxes? And it's because of that illiteracy that we mentioned, where FINRA says this is the Financial Regulation Board. FINRA is saying there are 63% of Americans who are financially illiterate. We are hoping to change that with financial literacy. And SOFA, as I mentioned earlier, SOFA is the Society for Financial Awareness. That's sofausa.org. SOFA vision is to eliminate financial illiteracy in America, one community at a time. I've joined SOFA to pick up that mission and that vision, to be a part, to help in my community, because if we're going to do it one community at a time, we can start with this community, and as we eradicate financial illiteracy in this community, then we can move to another community, we can move to another community, and we can do it one individual at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time. And that's what we can do. It's a mammoth task. We're not saying it's easy, but we're gonna start somewhere, and we're here for you to guide you on that path. So the two major wealth transfer areas we mentioned, mortgages, taxes. The third one is qualified plans. Qualified, there are so much moving targets there with qualified plans. You know, you have 401k, you have IRA, you have pension, you have a new thing now. You have something now called a MIRA. So there used to be an IRA, you now also have a MIRA. So if you know of IRA, and now you hear of MIRA, 401k, and if you're not educated, how are you gonna know the difference? You know, it's just not possible to manage these things without being educated on it. And that's why we're hoping to come alongside you to help you navigate the minefields, because it's a minefield out there, because all of them are good. But does it necessarily mean that all of them are good for you? It has to be personal to you, because what works for John may not necessarily work for Mary. And that's what we're hoping to bring to you. The next one, college planning. Wow. You know, college planning, you have people getting ready to go to college. They didn't make any plans, or they made the wrong plans. So then college becomes a struggle in the sense that there are wealth transfers in college. You know, wealth transfers in college planning, because there are different areas again. And a lot of these are driven by Internal Revenue Code. You know, you have 529 plans. You have state plans. You have these different plans. You have individual plans. And someone will say, well, oh, this one is the best. It cannot be the best unless it's personalized to you. Because as I mentioned, what works for Mary is not necessarily going to work for John. So it has to be customized for you. It cannot be where you just take it and says one size fits all. It cannot be. So that's what I'm encouraging you to look at. So that's number 4 area. So we have spoken about mortgages, taxes, qualified plans for college planning. Number 5, major expenses. Wow. Major expenses. What are we talking about? We're talking about buying a car. We're talking about buying furniture. Whether you're gonna equip a bedroom, living room, a kitchen. These are major purchases. And sometimes we are just not purchasing it correctly. We're not financing it correctly. There are good ways. There are bad ways to do it. It's not just because you see an ad and you say, well, oh my gosh, that's an ad, it must be good. No, not necessarily. And that's why we're encouraging you to get educated so you know what's best for you. You know, because the internet is so powerful and so awesome. You go and you search on the internet, you search a particular topic, you have 4 million searches. Oh my gosh, how do you know which is right? There's 4 million. There are 4 million opinions. How do you know which is right? And that is where it's got to be customizable to you. So, you know, we're here, we created financial literacy to help bring some of that education to you. So I hope you have been making notes and, you know, writing down your questions and your comments. You can go on the website, financialliteracy.info. You can make comments there, send us your feedback, send us your request for personal consultation or whatever. We are here to help you. You know, you can send us an email, support@financialliteracy.info, support@financialliteracy.info. You can call us 754-366-7311. You can text us, same number, 754-366-7311. And next week, we're going to open the the radio, we're going to open the line here on the radio here at WAVS. You know, we're going to be giving you the numbers then. You know, you'll be able to call from Broward. You'll be able to call from Dade. You'll be able to reach us from the internet. You can reach us. So we are accessible to you 24/7. And when you visit us on the internet, you're going to see the different topics we teach on. And I'll just go through the list. You know, we teach over 30 topics. We have over 30 seminar topics that we teach on, where we're going to be inviting you to seminars and so forth. And all of these seminars will be free to you. There will be no cost to you. So we're going to be inviting you to these seminars as we have the dates, and we're going to share them with you. We're going to share them with you on the air. We're going to share them with you on the website. You'll be able to see upcoming events so you know how to reach us, where we can give you more and, you know, in general, and we can also give you individual. We can personalize it for you. You know, many of the topics we're going to talk on. We're going to talk on college planning. We're going to talk on estate planning. We're going to exploring your options for a quality retirement. We're going to talk to you about financial blunders, first-time home buyers, getting fiscally fit. You know, there are just these different things. You know, we're going to how to increase your wealth. You know, ID theft. We're going to talk to you about that because identity theft has been on a rise also. We're going to talk to you about investing basics for women. Yes, and you may say, wow, is that sexist? No, you have different investment basics for men, different investing basics for women, and we're going to talk about Social Security. We're going to talk about Medicare. So all of these going to be dovetail where sometimes a particular topic may not be necessary for you, but it might be relevant to one of your family members. So we just want you to make note of these, knowing that we're here for you. And what we'll do, we will talk about and let you know the different topics. So we just want to thank you for joining us every Sunday night at 9 to 10. This is your host, Hubert McIntosh, CPA, a member of SOFA, the Society for Financial Awareness. So join us again next week at 9 o'clock. So thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Financial literacy with Hubert McIntosh on Waves 1170 has come to an end. Don't be mad. She'll be back next week on www.waves1170.com. Hubert McIntosh is a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, www.sofausa.org. Promotional consideration provided by LifelineTax.com, the Remap Accounting Firm, the Wealth Management and Distribution Group, and the McIntosh Insurance Agency. Financial Literacy on Waves 1170 AM is a digital media production by Hubert McIntosh.